Thomas's new trucks. It was another busy day on the island of Sodor. Thomas was in the yard, shunting his trucks. It was hard work, and he was huffing and puffing, biffing and bashing the trucks. They were old and rusty, and Thomas was tired out. When James puffed into the yard, he was looking very pleased with himself. "Look!" he huffed proudly. "The Fat Controller has given me shiny new trucks. They're much nicer than your old ones, Thomas." Thomas looked at the trucks. James was right. The new ones were much nicer than his. "It's not fair," said Thomas sadly. "I want shiny new trucks too." The next morning, when Thomas puffed out of Tidmouth's sheds, the Fat Controller had a surprise for him. "Your trucks are too old for the heavy loads you pull, Thomas," he said. "You're going to have some new ones, just like James." Thomas was very pleased when he collected his trucks. He puffed off with his new trucks proudly behind. As he steamed into Brendam Docks, James was showing off his new trucks to Bill and Ben. "Peep!" said Thomas, blowing his whistle. "I've got new trucks too." Yours are even shinier than James's," puffed Ben. That made James cross. "Your trucks are shiny now, Thomas," he huffed, "but you won't be able to keep them as clean and shiny as mine." "Oh, yes, I will," said Thomas. "You wait and see. I'll have the cleanest, shiniest trucks on the whole island." Next day, Thomas took his new trucks to the quarry. "Must keep my trucks clean, must keep my trucks clean," he puffed. James was there collecting slate. "Look, I haven't got a speck of dust on me or my trucks," he boasted. "I can do that too," said Thomas. He backed under a hopper, but his naughty new trucks rolled back a bit too far, and whoosh! Slate poured down all over the tracks and all over Thomas. The new trucks laughed, and so did James. "Your trucks don't look so shiny now," he huffed. Next, Thomas took his new trucks to the coaling plant. This time, he backed under the coal hopper very slowly. But the naughty trucks rolled too far again, and the coal landed all over the tracks. Thomas was covered in coal dust, and his new trucks were dirtier than ever. The next morning, Thomas puffed into Wellsworth Yard. He saw his new trucks and his old ones and had an idea. "I'll use my old trucks for the messy coal and keep my new ones clean," he decided. He took his old trucks to the docks, but on the way there was trouble. A coupling broke, snap, and the trucks rattled along behind him all by themselves. "Cinders and ashes!" cried Thomas. He put on his brakes, but he stopped so quickly that the trucks bumped into him, and all the coal spilled out onto the tracks. Thomas was stuck. He couldn't move. When the Fat Controller arrived with Harvey, he was not pleased. "These trucks are too old for pulling coal," he said. "You caused a delay, Thomas." Harvey moved the spilled coal, and Thomas raced off to collect his new trucks. When he got back, the crew filled them with coal. Soon the new trucks were dirty, but as Thomas raced to the docks, they were no trouble at all. They rolled easily up the hills, they rattled quickly down the hills, and they sang all the way to the docks. They were happy. Thomas understood. "My new trucks like being messy," he said. "They have more fun when they're dirty. My trucks would rather be useful than clean." When James got to the docks, and his trucks saw how happy Thomas's were, they decided they wanted some fun too. James backed up to Cranky to load melons for the market, but his truck stopped very quickly. "Hold back! Hold back!" they laughed as the melons landed on James. Squelch! Squish! Squash! What a sticky mess! "Bother!" huffed James, but his trucks just laughed, and so did Thomas. Peep, said Thomas. Your trucks would rather be useful than clean, just like mine.